people meeting me, they're either extremely intrigued and embracing, or they're a little put off. Especially whenever they come to see a show, and it's very often that we'll have, our straight crowd, our straight girls that come and they'll sit in the front row, and they're expecting to see maybe a drag show.
Right.
And whenever they see a woman cross the stage, they're like, they're either, yay, this is really cool, or like, who is this bitch?
Right.
What is she about? So whenever girls approach me, sometimes they're a little hostile sometimes, and you can tell, you can read people's body language.
kind of demeanor.
Yeah, and I despise whenever girls come up to me and they want to immediately attack me and go, well, my boobs are real. And I'm just like, what is that statement supposed to mean?
Right.
Like, my boobs are real too. I really paid for it.
Yes.
So, like, what? I mean, who
and
cares?
so do many other biological women.
So, you probably paid for yours too. So, I mean, what does it matter?
Right.
But I just hate it whenever they have this like this boxed in like defensive mentality because they're threatened by my appearance,
right,
and can't necessarily wrap their mind around the idea that I was born genetically a man,
right,
and may end up looking better than them.
Right, exactly.
Which, it's just the luck of the draw. Just the luck of the draw, you know.
Right.
I always say I had really good genes, So my dad was Italian and my mother was American Indian, so I lucked out. The process of transitioning doesn't just happen overnight because I feel like it's not just so much of a physical journey, it's an emotional and mental journey as well. And I think a lot of girls get a little messed up whenever, you can physically transform yourself overnight.
Right.
A girl can walk in and get everything done overnight and then wake up and not be able to walk out of her doors because she doesn't even know how to identify with the world.
Right. And
whenever I first started transitioning, again, people want to associate you and put you in this box, this category. And I wasn't in any of those categories because I may have looked like a girl with facial hair,
right,
and I looked feminine, but, I used to hide behind, a hoodie and large clothes and, and a hat. Ironically, I'm wearing a hat today, but it's not because I'm afraid of myself.
No, sir.
But, there were days that you just wanted to go through your day and no one even say anything to you. You just wanted to go to the bank, go to the grocery store, and no one makes some snide remark to you.
But you have had that happen.
I used to have that happen whenever it was a question mark as far as what I was.
Right.
Now that it's clear, I think I also hold myself in a different light in that I'm very confident, and I think whenever you can showcase yourself with that confidence, I think it eliminates any questions with people. Right. I look, walk, talk, think as a woman and present myself like that every day. So I don't think people even think anything about it.
Right.
I don't get really the looks or stares or anything like that like I used to. And someone pointed it out to me one day. They said, did you ever think that if people are looking at you that they may be thinking, wow, she's really pretty? Instead of, oh my God, what are they thinking about?
Right.
Are they thinking, thinking I'm a man? So I don't really have to deal with it anymore, which is nice. Still, I think, and always probably will, there's still moments. I'm not going to sit here and lie and go, oh, everything's so dandy and things of that nature. But there's still moments whenever you are by yourself and you feel very vulnerable because there's nobody around you that knows you.
Right. And
I try to, protect myself and not put myself in a harmful situation.
Sure.
But there are moments whenever you're extremely vulnerable and it makes you feel, still like an oddity, amongst everybody else. But thank God it doesn't happen that often.
Right. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. So how do you feel, and this will lead itself a little bit to some of the things that are going on in your life right now. And I'm curious about your opinions of what this is like for you, and maybe what you feel like this is like for some other trans women. Performing, is this something that has always been a passion for you? And it's something that you feel like no matter what route way you've chosen to live your life, or a path that's right for you, that you feel that you need to perform as a way of expressing yourself? And is that a big driving force right now? That must be a huge part of your identity, is what's going on right now, getting ready for Miss Continental.
It's a huge part of who I am, but it's not everything.
Right.
I have 2 degrees, one in interior design and one in art and design, with the emphasis on painting. And before even stepping on stage, I had an education, and was working in people's homes, doing interior design, really enjoying my life, but hating who I was. I put all that on hold because I started transitioning, and whenever you're dealing with families, heterosexual families with the husbands and the kids and stuff, it started becoming very odd for me.
Right.
And I felt very like they weren't comfortable, and I just felt like I needed to put things on pause for a while.
Right.
And take a step back and transition, and then go back into the world again and represent myself, and in a different way. And
right.
So that whenever you walk in and you're a woman, it's one thing.
Right. As opposed to this time of transition when I'm sure you're aware that you're going through some things emotionally as well as physically.
Yeah.
And all that entails that it might be a good time to take a break from something that you would otherwise enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
And are educated to do.
Absolutely. And it was, it was painful even doing that, but and because of that, I stepped onto the stage. I've always been creative and an artist, and love transformation, whether it's transforming someone's home or transforming into a glamorous, a glamour puss at night. I've always enjoyed it. So it's been almost a therapy for me as well at times too. But I like to let people know that there's much more behind it, though, because people think it's so simple that you just put on a dress, you just put on a wig, and
learn how to sing.
and that's so simple.
Right.
But there's so much more to it for me.